So we just finished up the Game Awards. We're here above where they were holding them, here in Planet Hollywood, just below us. And one of the cool things that we saw at the show was Kiefer Sutherland came out to introduce Metal Gear Solid Online. We knew that this announcement was going to come.
Yes.
Because he'd been teasing that for a while, but this is the first time we've gotten to see the multiplayer from Metal Gear Solid Online.
Exactly. Metal Gear Solid Online, at first people weren't sure if this was just going to be a separate game, if this was going to be like an afterthought. What we saw for the first time was team versus team multiplayer. We saw people being able to choose their loadouts, being able to choose what tactics they employ in fighting a team of other human players, which is so crazy because Metal Gear Solid has forever been me trying to figure out the systems, the AI systems, like infiltrating a base or taking down a boss. So it's really interesting to see it from a mano a mano kind of standpoint.
I mean, it changes up the whole way that you approach Metal Gear when you're going up against real human opponents, but they also change up the way that some of the items and the things that you interact with in the world, that those react to yourself.
Yeah, so I guess the purpose of the trailer was to show off some of the different ways that you can infiltrate the base or you could attack another team. So what they had was this, for instance, a sort of radar beacon which you could throw in that rolled in that gave you ping sort of where those opposition players were. There was somebody hanging back using their binoculars to sort of scout out where opposition players were. There were cute dogs, which I guess worked like the porno mags from Metal Gear Solid 2, and I guess the sort of, are we calling it the porno box? From the old Metal Gear Solid 5 trailer we saw?
The porno box.
The porno box, yeah. It works like the porno box. And what I loved about it is that it shows that really interesting, evolving gameplay that happens, which doesn't happen very often in multiplayer shooters. It's usually whoever shoots first wins. But in this, there was, mechanisms to allow people to have upper hands. Like, for instance, this big bipedal turret turns up and starts.
Speaking of mechs.
Right? Like, is burning through people. And then it just so happens that the big boss, Snake, within this trailer is behind the mech, stabs the dude, takes over it himself, and then it's just laying waste to absolutely everything, including another Snake who is in a cardboard box. And then, of course, it all culminates. A rocket comes out of nowhere, explodes it, he falls out, and who's standing at the other end of that but Ocelot. I'm a Metal Gear fan. I'm not as big a Metal Gear fan as, say, Peter Brown in The Office back in San Francisco. But I think people who are big Metal Gear fans, people like me who have played a lot of the games that are interested in that franchise, and I also think that people who maybe don't play Metal Gear Solid at all, but like online shooters, I think there's maybe something here to interest a lot of people.
And especially when you see that world, I mean, it's just such a beautiful looking game. Like, it looks really good. I'm not a huge Metal Gear fan, but oh my god, I want to play that so much.
Yes, and hopefully we won't have to wait too much longer. They haven't put a specific date on it just yet, but fingers crossed we'll be able to play Metal Gear Online sometime in 2015.